Hey guys, just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. Sorry I look a little rough. Things have been rough lately. Um, as far as seizures go, I was an hour late for a dose of meds. I think it was Sunday. I want to say Sunday. Um, and that caused a round of really bad seizures. My first one lasting about a minute. Then I woke up for a few minutes, like maybe 30 seconds, long enough to tell my boyfriend I just had a seizure. Then I had one that went on for about 10 minutes, in which halfway through he called 911. It stopped right after the paramedics got here. And I sort of remember like going in and out of things a little bit while they were here. And I guess I had another one. And they decided, at first they weren't going to transport because the seizure had stopped. And then when that one happened again, they decided to do some transporting. And so they took me to the ER and did a bunch of blood work. And I guess I had a few more seizures while I was there. They gave me some Ativan after the first one, and that stopped them for a little while, but I know I had another one after the dose of Ativan. And something that's been different about the last couple of seizures, starting Sunday, was I woke up and was incredibly, just angry and had a lot of rage. I know I wasn't really with it a whole ton at the hospital, but I remember, being really upset a few times, and I guess I was trying to take off all the monitors and everything, and especially the pulse ox sticker thing they put on my finger. I hate those in the first place, so when I have a seizure, my skin is hypersensitive to everything, and the littlest touch can hurt horribly. They put that tourniquet on my arm to try and get an IV, and I just flipped out. But they managed to get them stopped after 2 doses of Ativan, and they sent me home. And I just came home and went to bed, basically rested. And then everything was okay. Excuse me. Everything was okay the next day. I was home and in bed most of the morning, and my boyfriend only ended up working half a day because I called him crying because I was on the floor trying to change my diaper, and I was just so weak and tired that I couldn't even untape it. It took me 5 minutes to get from the bed to the floor and in position to change, and then I just couldn't do it, and I called him just crying. And he managed to come home and help me out and was home for the rest of the day, which was good. But that night I had another seizure. It wasn't too bad. I think that it was kind of just a residual breakthrough seizure. They decided to up my meds again. And so I think that was just stabilizing from the new dose. But this time, after it, I was just so enraged. It was mostly when I was coming to, so I don't clearly remember everything. But I do remember that I kind of took a swing at him, and thankfully he noticed before I really did any damage, But once again, after the seizure, I am incredibly sensitive. The littlest touch can register as pain in my brain. And, him simply touching my arm threw me over the edge. And I guess I barely it's very foggy on what I remember then, and I guess I kind of nicked his lip a little bit. It didn't draw blood or anything. It didn't really make it fat at all. Just kind of, grazed it. But thankfully he's not, he understands when I have a seizure that I'm not quite myself for a while, and struggled again last night. I guess my seizures must be somewhere in the language part of my brain, because after a seizure, I have such a hard time talking. I can't bring the words to, from my thoughts to speaking them. So I don't know what that means, but it was rough for him, and he feels really helpless when it goes on because there's nothing he can do to help me at all. And it just is very upsetting for him, more so upsetting for him than it is for me. For me, it's a physical and emotional thing. I just am drained afterwards. And I just have to take that time to recover and let my brain reboot. But so that's kind of what's going on. I think I pulled a muscle or tore a ligament or something in the back of my knee this time. Either way, it's really painful, and walking is hard, and every time I bend my leg or anything, it just hurts so bad. But things like that happen with seizures. Thankfully I've never bit through my tongue or anything like that, because that would not be cool. But I've seen pictures of what people do with that, and I'm just so glad that doesn't happen with me. But so we were kind of on a holding pattern after my last appointment. I had an MRI and another EEG, and they both came back normal. So the doctor wanted me kind of on a holding pattern with my meds, and we told him we really can't afford the video EEG right now, so if we could get away without it, then we would. So I'm not sure what he's going to require this time. I see him on the 15th. I was supposed to set up a follow-up appointment. I'm not sure I will, just because we see him in a couple of weeks anyway. If I have another seizure, yeah, we probably will call him and do a follow-up. But for now, we're just going to kind of go with what we're doing. And I just have to say that was one of my most interesting experiences with the whole seizure thing. I don't think I've ever had one really that bad. I've had ones that lasted almost up to 5 minutes and stuff. Thankfully, I was sitting down watching TV when it happened, so I wasn't in a dangerous position or anything like that. And he was just able to get the chair reclined and keep me, take everything away from me so that I was safe. He just cleared the area. But, he's getting pretty good at all that now. So that's kind of what's going on. Incontinence-wise, still the same. Definitely had some incontinence after all the seizures this time. I don't always, but I know I definitely had some this last time. And the funny thing about that is, a lot of times when I'm around the house, I'll just sit around in a t-shirt and diaper because it's easier if I'm not feeling good, my boyfriend can check and make sure that, my diaper's okay. So when I had this last seizure, I was sitting in my chair in just my t-shirt and diaper, and, all the paramedics were there and got there and everything, and, they didn't bother putting pants on me. They just took me as I was. So in the hospital, shirt and diaper, everybody could see. They asked questions about it, just to make sure, why is she wearing a diaper and all that. And so that was interesting for the whole, I've never really had anything happen like that with being not fully clothed, I guess. So that was weird. They did change me into a gown once I got into the hospital and all that, but it was interesting, when I realized, what, I'm just in my t-shirt, that's not cool, and the funny thing was because we didn't have the clothes with me, we just had a t-shirt and everything. So when they discharged me from the ER, they just left me in the hospital gown, because I only had a t-shirt. And and I remember this part as I was looped out on Ativan, my boyfriend's dad came to pick us up from the hospital because Andrew rode along with me in the ambulance, and I was just like, oh no, everybody's gonna see my diaper. And it was really sweet. Andrew's dad just was like, he's like, it's okay, it's not a big deal, it's fine. He's like, he just reassured me that it was okay. And Yeah, I was more upset for like when we got home what was going to go on, because a lot of times neighbors were outside and here I am. I can't really hold myself up much yet because I had just had major seizures. So I was all worried that everybody was going to see it. Um, but yeah, that's my last few days. And so I'll keep you updated. See you next time.